Let's go over to Megyn Kelly, my other most improved Republican conservative right-winger, whatever you want to call it. Megyn Kelly is not letting go on the subject of the Great Con. And I think that's what I'm going to start calling it. It is the Great Con. Many, many, many shady Americans over the many years that America has been in business have gone to prison for lengthy terms, for doing far less than what the administration, the previous administration, the Biden people did over the last 4 years. And even if we go back to the 2020 election, it's probably longer. It's probably more like 5 years. They lied about everything having to do with Biden's health. And they did it not for good of country, as they, I think, would posit to themselves and to others when pressed. No, they did it for their own self-enrichment, for their own political power, self-aggrandizement, etc. These people are vile. And Megyn Kelly has just decided to, and by the way, Megyn Kelly's a beautiful woman. I'm not calling her a bulldog. I'm just saying she's aggressive like a bulldog. She has taken a chomp out of Jake Tapper, who I think really deserves some of the most, deserves the most disgust from us, as he seems to be the leading voice to absolve the Democrats of any blame here by coming in at the 11th hour, hell, not the 11th hour, at the 13th hour, right? Past the clock running time, past the point where Biden has any political relevance, past the point of time where Trump is on the precipice of winning an election. Hell, Trump now is very popular. He's up, 9 points was the latest survey. Very popular. Past any point of the Democrats being any kind of real opposing force or chance at regaining power, and suddenly wants to be absolved of his past sins, carrying water, aka lying through his teeth about Joe Biden. And worse than that, Jake Tapper, in a pursuit of supporting a president that he wanted to see in office and seeing a political force like Trump, who he despised, remaining out of office, decided to go all in and target every single political commentator, political actor, media figure that dared speak the truth about Joe Biden's diminished state. The kind of, I mean, how do I put this, right? The kind of propaganda that surrounded the pursuit of pumping up Joe Biden is akin to the Soviet propaganda that my parents left in 1968, that they fled Czechoslovakia under the communists. Remember, growing up under Joe Stalin, my parents know a thing or two about Bolshevik propaganda. The propaganda under Joe Biden, and I kid you not when I say this, not hyperbolic, almost rivals that of what my parents experienced behind the Iron Curtain in the 1950s and 1960s. Now, Megyn Kelly, okay, I realize this is Jake Tapper. This is not a man that was in the administration, but Jake Tapper is not some journalist. He is and has been a very powerful voice at CNN, somebody who's conducted numerous televised presidential debates, and someone who has been unabashedly pro-Biden, anti-Trump. All of that is fair. Now, unlike Biden, I don't think that anybody is claiming that Jake Tapper has a lack of mental acuity. I mean, he may be dumber than a bag of hammers, but he's not, he doesn't have dementia. He doesn't have Alzheimer's. And Megyn Kelly absolutely destroyed him the other day on her podcast. I want to play this for you. Because again, when I think about the most improved conservatives, Republicans, and whatnot, yesterday, Megyn Kelly absolutely destroyed what little was left of Jake Tapper's credibility and career.
I did ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
but then he wasn't.
Thought that he was not transparent at all. No.
He promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues.
That's true, But I did ask him about his age and the fact that the American people had concluded that even though he said whenever anybody brought up the subject of his age, watch me. And I said,
yes,
they're watching you and they are concerned
you
that you
did.
were too old for this job.
But
So
you know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct. I didn't. And like I said, I feel humility about my coverage. I mean, it's not like I was asking him his favorite movie or his favorite color. We were talking about Putin. We were talking about other issues of national importance. But yeah, I mean, of course, I've said I look back at my coverage with humility, and I wish I did cover the issues of age and acuity, but I wish I had covered them much more.
By the way, Tapper and his stupid book, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't be part of the cover-up and then write a book about the cover-up and do, oh, mea culpa. I said this at the onset when we first heard about the book. What did I say here? I said, this is like when O.J. Simpson wrote the book, If I Did It. Anyway, the bloodbath continued. Megyn Kelly again scoring great points with me, yours truly.
The comments of Joe Biden making gaffes, saying things stupid, tripping, are all important and all deserved to be aired and all deserve scrutiny. But as you know, Megyn, because even though you look 30 years younger than me, we're roughly the same age, Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay?
I get
and
what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down. It was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book, we knew and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him, where it was obvious he couldn't get through a 1 minute take. So
remember, by the way, I played this just the other day. The jump cuts. It's wild. He literally could, Donald Trump, you think you're so tough? Let's go debate me. See me on the debate stage, you little, I hear you're free on Wednesdays. It was like cut out of, 20 different cuts. Probably took them an hour to do it.
So they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter, and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none. But you did. You did. And so while... You've been in Washington 30 years, Jake. You guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort, none, to get to the bottom of this. And now for you guys to write this book like there was a cover-up, it's like there was a cover-up and there was an attempted cover-up. It could only ever work if you allowed it.
I love Megyn Kelly for saying this to his face. What a stinking weasel Jake Tapper is. By the way, even the libs aren't buying this.